The culture is absolutely...
The gut ain't running there. Calling both games.
The Titans may be insta-fucked without a better quarterback at the helm than Ryan Tannehill, but didn't you know? Tennessee can't do much about his contract lest they absorb a horrific cap penalty. It's a lot easier to cut the likes of Jackrabbit Jenkins and Julio Jones. I thought Julio would do a lot better here. Would have been nice if he could have stayed healthy. Speaking of health, why not acquire a guy coming off a torn ACL and Robert Woods? He's still quality, right? Same goes for Austin Hooper. He was just cut, not injured, so that makes it a little bit better. It doesn't change the truth. With what they have under center, the Titans are stuck in a bitterly disappointing loop. They prefer for you not to talk about it.
Tennessee Titans select Treylon Burks, wide receiver, Arkansas.
So you may be asking yourself two questions. How the hell are the Titans selecting here, and why the fuck are they drafting a wide receiver? Well, if you want that answer, I hope you're ready to take in some radiation. A.J. Brown is gone. Tennessee couldn't agree to terms on a new contract, so he leaves for greener pastures. Figuratively and literally. He's now an Eagle, and he will hopefully soar high in an offense led by Jalen Hurts. AJ's going to be paid like it regardless. A 4-year, $100 million contract worth $57 million guaranteed. Deebo Samuel sitting on a couch fuming at everyone else getting paid besides him. Treylon Burks has some ridiculously sized shoes to fill with Brown gone. Treylon, you're entering a team desperate to get to a Super Bowl with questions at quarterback while shedding talents at wideout and tight end over the past few seasons. If you thrive, the rewards will be great. If not, you'll unfairly become the whipping boy of an entire fan base. I don't envy the pressure he's going to be under to perform immediately. At least Malik Willis will get time to develop. What the hell did he fall to the third round? Ryan Tannehill still their quarterback? Yes? That means the Titans are still limited in what they can do. If last year's choke against the Bengals didn't prove that, I don't know how the hell I can convince you. If it means anything, I love Derrick Henry, and I wish him only the greatest of health. Seriously, having him shut down long-term isn't only a death sentence to Tennessee's ambitions, but to the league's likability itself. Although I wonder what they're going to do at wide receiver. A.J. Brown is gone, and someone's going to have to step up to become the big-game target he was. Feel for Treylon Burks. He's going to have such a microscope on him that it'll burn an entire ecosystem of ants. To be fair, the entire team is under pressure to perform this season. 2021 felt like a wasted opportunity. Plus, with how bad their stadium looks after only 25 years of wear and tear, a championship run is always good for opening up the public coffers. The AFC, just like last season, is going to be a bloodbath. You can make the argument for nearly every team to be able to reach the promised land of the playoffs. And as a fan of the game, you can't ask for much more. The AFC East is pretty cut and dry, though. Buffalo will be taking that division with ease. The AFC North will go to Baltimore. Considering that they're finally healthy and able to field a respectable team should do wonders for them. To me, the AFC South is a coin flip between Indy and Tennessee. And I'm going to err on the side of the Titans for the time being. It's very close, though, just like the AFC West. Every team has a shot at winning the division. And for my sake, I'm going to go bold and pick the Broncos. I know, insane, but they actually have a QB and hopefully non-shitty play calling. That's all they needed. And as for the wildcards, it's a tough call, but I'm going to go with Kansas City, the Chargers, and the Bengals. I personally can't wait to see how wrong I am in these predictions, as always. Maybe they'll be as slow to develop as my vid schedule. The biggest problem I have with Tennessee is that they refuse to finish off their opponents when they get the chance to. It happened a good bit last season, it happened in the playoffs against Cincinnati, and it happened again at home against the fucking Giants. You know, the team that couldn't do shit against the Titans' stout defense for most of the first half? Well, it turns out that Saquon Barkley is actually pretty talented when healthy, and it's hard to contain him for long. Don't forget the one pass Daniel Jones makes where you think he could be something long-term for a franchise. Those two moments made it a game. Tennessee would score a touchdown because that's expected of a team with playoff aspirations, but they keep self-destructing. It happens on offense. It happens on special teams with muffed punts. It happens with Daniel Jones reminding us all he's Daniel Jones. Yet the Titans still refuse to keep the foot on the fucking throat. You can stop Saquon anytime you want, but they have options. These ain't the old Giants led by a wooden plank or a worthless hack. These are G-men with cojones. They're not just gonna go for it on 4th and 1, they'll do a QB rollout. They're not only going to score a TD on you, they're going for 2. Fuck that pesky ass overtime. They're gonna finish this game and they're gonna get it. But the Titans won't lose here. New York can't stop taking penalties at key times. And with this pass to field goal range, this should end it. Or at least it better.
Rookie Ryan Stonehouse, the holder. The kick by Bullock is off the wall. And it is no good!
Jesus fucking Christ, Tennessee! You have every opportunity to shit on a pathetic franchise, yet all you did was fuck around for 60 minutes. Well, guess what, boys? You just found out. Fat Randy gifted the G-Men their first winning record since 2016. New Yorkers actually have hope. I'd lament such a tragedy, but Tennessee deserved to lose for this performance. And with this colossal joke out of the way, the leader of the AFC South is currently the Houston Texans? Seriously, how the fuck do you lose to the Giants? Every opponent of theirs is supposed to shit gold afterwards.
You blew it, boy! You really blew it!
You may think that public sacrifices were considered taboo hundreds of years ago, but in Buffalo, it's still a way of life. They have returned triumphantly, with many Titans held prisoner in their possession. One by one, these men are brought to the 50-yard line. Hefty portions of ketchup and mustard are doused on their bodies, and a knife is driven through their ribcage. As they scream in agony, Bill's Mafia cheers in bloodlust. Their still beating hearts are consumed to give them strength. It is ritual annihilation, and there will be nothing to stop them. Ryan Tannehill must sit on the sidelines and watch in horror as his pleas are intercepted. Buffalo will march forward to their next victim. Or is it that Tennessee is just a bad team this year? People thought this was going to be an elite matchup a few weeks ago. If you were to tell people that both these teams would start 0-2, you'd have lost all credibility. Truth, however, is much stranger than fiction. It's not an exaggeration to say that this is must-win for both teams. Especially for the Titans, who still believe they can get back to what they squandered last year. With a 24-10 lead at halftime, all looks good, but something happens. Something the Titans have dealt with for a while. They can't finish off their opponent. Their offense stalled out. Once you stop Derrick Henry, Tennessee can do absolutely nothing. The Raiders aren't doing much either, but that fear keeps consuming them. Las Vegas is creeping back. You can feel such tension in the stadium, it's absolutely rigid. The turnover game may be lopsided for the Raiders, but it doesn't matter. With the Titans' offense unable to pass even a sliver of stool, the Silver and Black are pushing forward down only one score. They saw how they failed in Arizona. They want revenge.
Derek Carr, far corner in the end zone. Mac Hollins!
Don't start cheering yet. They need to go for 2 to tie.
On his two-point conversion attempt. Carr throws, deflected, broken up.
Now you can start cheering. Last year the Raiders would have won these games. However, that was under Rich Bisaccia. Now you get a guy who's 5-20 in his last 25 coached games. You wonder if Mark Davis has buyer's remorse about skinning the Patriots for their table scraps yet? It's cost them the last couple of weeks. As the Raiders fall to the only 0-3 team in football, Tennessee lives on. For now. Will the Titans ever manage to properly finish off their opponent? Please, I beg of you, Tennessee. You do this every goddamn week and I can't for the life of me understand why. You start out cruising past your opponent. Indianapolis doesn't even look like a pro outfit with how they're falling apart at the seams. Ryan Tannehill is managing the game in front of him properly. Derrick Henry is rumbling like the football world loves him to. In front of a rival crowd, the Titans are holding a 24-3 lead in the second quarter. Yet it never feels secure. We know Tennessee's MO. They embrace the downing turtle. They become completely predictable on offense. Derrick Henry can't carry the team to relevance. The defense is forced to stay on the field for exorbitant lengths of time. Great, you're blowing it again because your coaching is inherently flawed. I don't care at this point. Just let the Colts tie the damn game and expose you fuckers again.
It's Taylor. Trying to navigate. Just needed a little. That ball may have come out loose. Tennessee's claiming they've got it, and they do! The Titans have taken it away!
Mike Vrabel, congratulations. You've just been bailed out of your own inefficiencies as a coach. For whatever reason, the Colts just cannot beat the Titans in Indy. They've lost 5 of their last 6 to them in their homeland. Everyone knows the truth. The Colts didn't win last week. The Chiefs lost it. I'd comfort you, but Jonathan Taylor might be out for a while. Goodbye, offense. It was nice knowing what that was like. The age-old question has always been, what would happen if an unstoppable force met an immovable object? In this case, the unstoppable force is Tennessee trying desperately to give the game away despite all opposing efforts. The immovable object is Washington. It's simply Washington as a franchise. No further explanation needed. What it equals is a level of giving as if they were being audited by the IRS. True, both teams would put up points, but you have to make it convincing lest you be arrested for tax evasion. In this case, Derrick Henry is rumbling past his opponents with speed in an effort to mask other offensive inefficiencies. And Carson Wentz continues to frustrate us all by making the outstanding throws that made him a rising star in the league. The lead is traded back and forth, emphasizing the spirit of giving that both teams embrace. Each wants the other to have the win, but they both refuse. They're too nice to finish the enemy off. Unfortunately for Tennessee, the lead is theirs on Washington's final drive. But they'll gladly allow the commies to retake Stalingrad with ease, giving up endless yardage and taking critical penalties to keep them in the game. Washington has made it to the goal line with a chance to win. But here is where their heart grew 3 sizes.
Wentz, quick pass, and it's intercepted!
Carson Wentz delivers a frustrating interception right to the hands of a Titan. They have successfully gifted Tennessee a win they tried desperately to give away. Sorry, boys, you're stuck with this victory. You didn't deserve it, but someone has to take it home. You can resell it on eBay or something. Okay, it might not be a rip in the fabric of time itself just yet. If that were the case, the Colts would find a way to win. Unfortunately, Matt Ryan became Matty Iced. He's been frozen by the Titans' defense. However, despite their early lead, Tennessee will do everything in their power to bring Indianapolis back into this game. Ryan Tannehill will be fighting injury. The offense will be fighting Todd Downing's idiotic play calling. The fan base in attendance will be fighting their will to live. Whoever Indy just can't do it. You're telling me you can't beat a team that's trying to run a jet sweep with their backup quarterback? Come on, boys, you have one more chance to prove me wrong about you. Get it done.
Ryan looking for Pittman. He's got it. There's the first down. Ball comes out. It's loose.
The Titans continue to own the Colts. The worst part? One of these teams will claim the division. They'll be hosting a home playoff game. That's the biggest fleece of them all. Tennessee escapes their own demise with the faintest of praise. None for Todd Downing, though. He's terrible. This matchup got a good bit closer than we thought. In theory, Tennessee should destroy the living tank made up of second-hand parts. This was unanimously believed until Ryan Tannehill was ruled out of the game due to illness. A grossly undercooked Malik Willis will be the man under center for this match. He may be nowhere near ready to play as a QB, but who needs that when Derrick Henry can destroy worlds? He's had 6 200-yard rushing days in his decorated NFL career. 4 of them have come against Houston. They aren't the tank of tanks simply because they want to upend a contender. The Texans will bow down to the former tenants of the city like they were the '85 Bears. Under 100 yards of offense by Houston until garbage time. You don't need a competent quarterback to win this kind of game. Be thankful you were playing a shitty team, Titans. Any other opponent in this may have gone a lot worse. Well, Tennessee, this game went to hell quickly. Not even about your rapid-fire opponent. Ryan Tannehill's out for this affair as well. You're once again going to be stuck starting a Malik Willis so raw the cow's still mooing. However, something fascinating happened. The Titans reached for their big boy pants and fought with everything they had. Derrick Henry is still king of the gridiron. His blistering runs will help the Titans secure a surprising lead off the bat. Tennessee's defense will do the rest. They'll buckle up and shut down the Chiefs' offense. Or was it just Kansas City trying to be too damn cute and flubbing the basic principles of passing and offense? Either way, it's a valiant effort all around. It's one of those games where you sit and wonder, how the fuck is Tennessee winning? Here's where the magic stops. You know what else Tennessee is good at this year? Refusing to finish off their opponents when they have them down for the count. Kansas City has an insanely one-dimensional offense. Patrick Mahomes threw 68 goddamn times. And it still took a Herculean effort for him to sniff the end zone. Hooray for improvisation? Not that it matters. The Zebras do some nudging on the 2-point conversion. This is defensive holding? Looks like Kelsey is wrestling with the dude. Good work, refs. You helped them convert for the tie. It's here where we all knew Kansas City was winning. Malik Willis can't throw at this level. He's too damn raw. It would take overtime and the Chiefs still had to rip the win out of Iron Jaws, but it was a win, I guess. What a waste of that valiant defensive effort. Put Malik Willis back in the oven. He's nowhere near ready yet. Nathaniel Hackett and Todd Downing walk into a bar. That's the only thing they can do. Going further with this comment is impossible with the offenses they run. Whether it's Tennessee trying to make Ryan Tannehill the focal point of the offense or the Broncos riding to their doom, it's horrifying to watch. At least the Titans managed to have a couple of plays where they didn't look like shit offensively. What about Denver? Let me get this straight. You have a week to refresh yourselves and you still can't do a damn thing with a franchise QB you threw hundreds of millions of dollars at? The Titans didn't even have anything close to resembling a healthy defense. Yet Denver rode all the way to 56 yards of offense for most of the second half. It's so bad I'm not surprised Colorado legalized psychedelic drugs. You needed to watch this shit. I wouldn't trust Hackett to run a computer. He'd crash it once he hit the power button. We are gathered here today to pretend to mourn the 2022 Green Bay Packers. A team who looked too far ahead for weeks on end and finally received their comeuppance. The cause of their death is pretty much everything. An offense that fails to stay in sync and abandons the run game at the drop of a hat. A defense destroyed by injury. A group that gave up over 300 yards passing to the second worst pass offense in football. It's all a recipe to lose 6 of 7 and wait for Aaron Rodgers to turn into a petulant child throughout the week. The feeling's mutual. The team gave up as quickly as Packers fans did. Tennessee strangled them until there was no life in their withered body. They are the heroes of the NFL. They put this menace in hospice. Rest in piss, Packers. The rest of the NFC North may now spit on your grave. The Battle of Sus. These teams are being held back by shit coaching in some regard. Be it Zach Taylor botching offense or Todd Downing botching offense, it's a mess to watch. Without Jamar Chase or Joe Mixon again, it'll be even tougher against a stout Titans defense. And that's not counting King Henry lording over every single adversary that tries to stop him. That is, if he doesn't fumble and a Vassal recovers the ball in the end zone. This is the deadliest the Titans offense will be in the game. Cincinnati pushes the envelope and counters with a big touchdown. Tennessee, they still have Todd Downing calling plays. They got cocky when gashing a dead Packers franchise and did next to nothing after the Derrick Henry rumble. The Titans can have these incredible splash plays for big yardage, yet can do nothing in the red zone because, wait for it, this offense is useless if King Henry isn't doing everything. I don't care how strong your defense is, if the offense can't help you stay off the field, you're going to give up touchdowns. You're going to go down by 7, and it means little if you keep settling for field goals. With 6 minutes left, Cincy's just going to burn as much clock as they can. Good for them, they are. Enough to kick another field goal to go up by 7 with time to return the favor. Tennessee, you dumbasses. Running over the long snapper? You're going to lose the game like that? Jesus, the Titans are really good at swiping defeat from the clutches of victory. Bengals enjoy the hard-earned win. It reminds me of a certain game that happened back in January. Just replace Ryan Tannehill self-destructing with Todd Downing. A.J. Brown will have his revenge. The Titans' failure to pay this man what he desired will instead be paid by means of blood and limbs. Philadelphia barely broke a sweat against these boys. The key is clear. You stop King Henry, this offense becomes flaccid. When faced with such a daunting task, Tennessee just shut down. The Eagles' offense soared to heights we haven't seen in a week, as Devontae Smith and their former savior A.J. Brown destroyed them through the air. Almost 400 yards of passing from Jalen Hurts. A delicious feast for his targets all game long. The Titans respond by losing Christian Fulton during the game, which is only another sting to a season that will probably end in a wildcard loss at home. Solid bounce-back game for Philly after the past few weeks. I find Tennessee to be completely fraudulent, but you have to make examples of those you are far superior than. The A.J. Brown saga is one that the Titans have probably regretted for a good bit. Watching him give his former team a whooping was the straw that broke the camel's back. Tennessee needs a change, and And that comes in the form of GM John Robinson's dinner being poisoned by the team's servants. It seems perplexing in the middle of a playoff push, but looking further into it, the move makes sense. The Titans are in hell. They're only contenders because the division they're in is dog shit. They've had years of fuck-ups from a personnel standpoint. Suspect drafting, suboptimal offseason moves, and locking themselves into the uninspiring Ryan Tannehill for the foreseeable future. Not to mention that whole A.J. Brown thing. It was either him or Vrabel, and Vrabel ain't getting fired. Mike's now going to ascend to the Bill O'Brien of the Titans. Unlimited power surrounded by sycophants and spineless yes-men. You hate Todd Downing, but he doesn't rock the boat. He's protected. At this point, Tennessee might just be shuffling deck chairs around. The tides are shifting in the AFC South. No longer are the Titans sitting comfortably on their high perch above the floodwaters. They fail to understand that Jaguars can climb trees. As they sleep in peace, they are swallowed whole by an opponent that outfoxed them. Tennessee is a Fabergé egg. They're hollow and prone to breaking. While they may have a lead, while Derrick Henry may be destroying worlds yet again, it's only a matter of time until they self-destruct and fall apart for drives on end. Ah yes, here it is. Right on this painful fumble by King Henry himself. Once that ended up happening, Demolition City. The targets, everything. Jacksonville's offense taking the wrecking ball to the damaged Titans defense on pretty much every notable drive. Trevor Lawrence driving blow after blow and is further blossoming as a QB. Tennessee's offense, endless failure. This was their best chance to secure a home playoff loss in January, and now it's not entirely certain. The Jags are tired of playing second fiddle, and they convincingly showed the world how here. It was pretty easy to do. The playoff push is reaching its final stages. Only one spot has been clinched by Philadelphia, but 4 weeks remain. In the AFC, it's wide open. Buffalo currently has number 1 seed, but Kansas City is close behind, if only because of a head-to-head loss with the Bills. Baltimore currently has the AFC North lead in the 3rd spot, and Tennessee has a loosening grip of the caboose division in the AFC South. Wildcards are currently held by Cincinnati, Miami, and the Patriots. But the Chargers and Jets are tied with New England at 7-6. A few other teams are 5-8, but they're long shots at this point. The picture will become clearer as time goes on. And as we all know, there's only one rule to follow.
Don't get eliminated!
Two fraudulent franchises that fail to take advantage of the fruits being offered to them. We all feel like Ryan Tannehill in the blue tent, trapped in a hell of sloppy football, yearning to be freed from this hell. Speaking of Tannehill, he's banged up with an ankle injury, so feel free to enjoy the painful struggle for either offense to do anything. It's not like they're not trying, there's just nothing talented to muster from their bag of tricks. The Chargers' offensive line is patchwork and they're suffering from Lombardi's disease. The Titans must suffer through the genius of Todd Downing. It all leads to a grueling match. Not even the good throwback kind, just really, really bad football where you wonder how the fuck both teams have winning records. LA's got the lead, but like everything in their franchise's history, they find amazing ways to not only not take advantage, but squander it. They can't generate offensive momentum deep in the 4th, which allows Tennessee the powers of false hope. Ryan Tannehill leading a drive with his arm. Oh right, this is the Chargers defense. They'll gladly give up a touchdown to tie the game. Justin Herbert, you've bailed this team out of its own incompetence at least 10 times this season, and you'll have to do it again.
Get up and spike the ball.
Pressure's coming. Herbert eludes the rush, throws on the run, and it is caught!
If that's what a social media quarterback is, sign me the fuck up. The Chargers win the Fraud Bowl, and now have sole possession of 7th seed in the AFC. Tennessee sucks, that's well known. However, we all thought they'd be okay in the shitty AFC South. They're now only a game up on Jacksonville, and the Jags have tiebreaker. Remind me how this team was the number 1 seed in the conference last year? We've had quite a lot of teams reach playoff land this week, didn't we? It doesn't mean we're anywhere close to settling how things will shake out. The AFC has many spots open to claim. Only Buffalo and Kansas City have clinched, and the Bills still have number 1 seed. Cincinnati overtakes Baltimore for the AFC North lead, as Ravens fans wonder why they keep squandering chances. Tennessee is far past that point. They've lost 4 straight and are in an existential state of dread. And for good reason. Baltimore has sole possession of the first wildcard spot with 9 wins, but it's probably a disappointment to them. Same as Miami, who falls behind the Chargers for the second wildcard spot thanks to losing their matchup with them earlier in the year. The Jets and Patriots both with back-breaking losses are the first teams out with 7 wins. They should be careful. There are a ton of teams with 6 wins, including Jacksonville, who's only a game back of their division lead. This is gonna be quite fucky, isn't it? Everyone left, you know what to say.
Don't get eliminated!
The Titans. Dear God. That's all I can say. The game merely being delayed due to power grid issues in Nashville is injustice. It should have been canceled for our sanity. If you thought their offense was shit enough under Todd Downing, imagine how awful it will be without Ryan Tannehill. For the rest of the season. As Malik Willis somehow forgets how to do anything as a quarterback, you'll say to yourself, it's okay. Derrick Henry's going to rush for over 300 yards like he always does to bail out this shitty team. There's no way they can lose to the Houston Texans in a must-win game. I'm afraid I have bad news for the 3 optimistic Titans fans. It's not happening. Tennessee isn't only obliterated on the injury front, the tank of tanks can afford to win a game and still secure the first overall pick. Why not destroy the hopes of a completely fraudulent franchise that deserves to lose? It's not all that shocking when you realize the Titans are in freefall. They've lost 5 straight. A division that was all but assured for them is now in peril. Jacksonville now holds the division lead, and this loss guarantees that the Week 18 matchup will be for the AFC South itself. We have to see Mike Vrabel's yes men bumble their way through a primetime matchup in 2 weeks. God help us all. With a few big losses this week, the NFL playoff picture has become a mosh pit, as has been written for time eternal. The AFC North is still neck and neck between Baltimore and Cincinnati. Guess who plays each other in Week 18? That contest will more than likely be for the division title. In the AFC South, same scenario. Tennessee has fallen apart so badly that Jacksonville now holds the division lead. No matter what happens next week, their matchup is guaranteed to be for the right to advance as division leader. There are no changes in the first 4 seeds, but Buffalo can clinch number 1 seed if a few things go their way next week. In the wildcards, we know either Baltimore or Cincy will get one, and the Chargers just clinched another. But with Miami in freefall, the 7th seed is now murky. The Jets and Patriots, despite being awful as of late, still have a fighting chance. The Titans and Jags can still technically be wildcards, but their best shot of making it is winning their division. Pittsburgh and Las Vegas are clinging on for dear life, and we'll need many miracles to make it.
Don't get eliminated!
The most predictable outcome to happen since Titanic. The Titans are being left for dead on the side of the road. Considering their piles of dead, it's quite literal. In a desperation heave to feel anything, Tennessee has handed the reins at quarterback to Josh Dobbs? That dude's still in the league? I don't know what's more depressing. That he's the last resort or that he managed to actually move the damn ball. It's better than going tits up like they usually do. Why am I even talking about this in depth? Dallas won with ease, despite perpetually playing down to competition all game. Just an overall shit Thursday night of football with sloppiness abound. Kinda hard for a team to win when they amass over 120 yards of penalties, isn't it, Titans? As Tennessee falls into a Week 18 death pit, the Cowboys are starting to put some pressure on Philly. Will it matter? Probably not, but momentum never hurt anyone. Thanks to the no contest ruling, there will be a few wrinkles. If the Bills and Chiefs make it to the AFC Championship game, it will be played on a neutral site. This will occur if both the Bills and Chiefs win or tie, or they both lose and the Ravens win or tie. If the Chiefs and Bengals reach the AFC Championship and the Bengals win in Week 18, it will be played on a neutral site. As for the AFC North title, if the Bengals lose to the Ravens, home field advantage will be decided by a coin toss. As for the 7th seed in the AFC, some form of cannon fodder will secure it. New England controls their own destiny with a win-and-done scenario. Miami needs New England to lose and them to win to escape humiliation. The Steelers are still alive. Somehow bullshit their way to it with a win and New England and Miami losing. Somehow. Fucking ridiculous.
Don't get eliminated!
The AFC South is next on the docket. The rules are simple. Win and in. A division on the line. Let's move on to the action. Imagine thinking that the Jags of all teams would have a chance at the AFC South title at the beginning of the year. No, we said. Glorified wildcard exits and the Titans and Colts have the best shot at it. Not in this timeline. Tennessee's in complete freefall, and is so desperate to move the football that Josh Dobbs is their best option at doing so. We have ourselves a grind. A sloppily played grind. Duval did their best to fuck it away, fumbling every key opportunity like they were back in the post-Saxonville era. One that caused us all to writhe in pain. No one should be forced to watch the shitty, completely injured to hell Titans in the playoffs. That's a punishment worse than hell itself. Yet it seems to be reality. Jags can't overcome the might of the Tennessee defense. It's a hellacious landscape all its own. And I want a miracle so I don't have to watch any more of this garbage.
Dobbs is hit from behind. The ball's out. They're calling this a fumble at the moment. And the return by Allen for the touchdown.
Oh, thank God. This was the greatest victory America's seen since Bin Laden was killed. We have been shown mercy. The Titans have lost 7 straight to end the year. A total collapse. And it's not like it was unforeseen. They've been complete frauds all season. Football gods merely sped up the inevitable. Just like Todd Downing hopefully being sent to the guillotine. Sometimes you can tell when a move is instantly regretted. When the Titans couldn't come to terms with A.J. Brown and had to trade him away, it may have been awful before the phone was hung up. Brown's a well-paid dynamo in Philly while the Titans yearn for a legit receiving option. The surface take would be to blame the Brown trade for their demise, but this goes much deeper. The ascent to #1 seed in the AFC was a fluke. It always was. With the defense being forced to resort to Herculean efforts to get the offense to do anything worth a damn was infuriating to witness. They were useless when Derrick Henry couldn't get anything going, which was roughly 60% of the time. Predictable scheming at best and jet sweeps to the fucking backup QB at worst. The most dangerous offensive drive Todd Downing had was when he was drunk. Their GM John Robinson was fired in the middle of the season with how badly he managed their roster. There were dead men walking as it was. And then came the injuries. Oh, good lord, if this team wasn't shit to watch before, watching a glorified USFL unit made it even worse. You don't lose 7 in a row simply by not trying. Effort has to be put into it. So with that, a cakewalk division was given away, serious questions about the team need to be answered, and Mike Vrabel is trying to dig his way out of a bottomless pit. Good luck, Rand Carthon. You'll need it. Welcome to football hell. Too good to build for the future, too irrelevant to be legitimate contenders. An agonizing experience. Enjoy your stay.